Hello everyone, it's Sunday, it's March 20th, 2022, first day of spring. Thought we would give you a quick update on this developing storm system across the Intermountain West. All week we have been talking about the big discrepancy in the models, a lot of confusion on where the storm was going to go, how it was going to come together, or if it was going to come together at all. And we talked about the dueling solutions of the computer models. Well, we certainly have a winner when it comes to the computer modeling. It was the European model. It wins hands down as it really nailed the disorganization of the storm as it comes through the Intermountain West. Now, with that being said, the initial front later today and tonight will produce some pretty decent mountain snows across the Rockies and the Pacific Northwest later today, tonight, and Monday. But the heavier precipitation on the plains will stay south and east. It's going to be central and eastern Kansas, eastern Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas. Those areas which really need the precipitation are going to be able to pick up most of it. But for the Intermountain West, the western high plains and Rockies, this is going to be just an average March system, really nothing to write home about. But it will certainly make it colder, and it is going to be quite a bit colder through Wednesday, and the pattern in the long term is going to stay active. But this storm is just not going to put itself together. Today's satellite photo really shows it well. We have two low centers, one up in the southwest areas of Canada there as we get up into the Alberta area and then all the way down into the Four Corners area of Arizona. This red line shows how stretched out the cloud field is. You see this right here? It's just a storm system that is not consolidating. You have to have a storm concentrate its energy into one area, not multiple areas, to really become a big system. That being said, this axis of red right here is moisture and instability that will head east with the trough and will be producing areas of snow in the mountains, rain, and even some thunderstorms this afternoon and evening across the lower elevations. And you can see it on the 500 millibar chart here, the two low centers in Arizona, then one up here in Alberta. As we go and look ahead, the system stays stretched out. This is by Tuesday morning, and actually the dominant low ends up in southern Canada and not in the southern plains. And that's completely a 180 from what the other model solutions had over the last several days. This is just a really good lesson in the fact that models are tools, they're not reality. And so you have to take them very carefully and take them with a grain of salt. The storm system actually gets itself put together much more organized by Wednesday morning with a deep low here over northwest Kansas. Now this looks pretty impressive with the counterclockwise spin back into the plain states. However, by the time it gets its act together, all the moisture of any consequence is going to be on the east side of the low with thunderstorms and areas of rain and some snow out here in the Midwest. There's going to be a little bit of moisture wrapping around on the back side of the system, but by then it's just too late. The storms have to be better organized further westward to get the Rockies and the high plains with a big March storm. So close but no cigar in terms of this storm getting put together. And look at the temperatures here. This is by noon on Wednesday. You can still see a large swath of the U.S. is going to be pretty chilly underneath this system. So we've had a nice respite of mild temperatures here lately. But for the first 3 days of the new week, expected to be pretty chilly relative to the 30-year normals. And here's the precipitation that we're going to see through Wednesday afternoon with this system. You can see the heavier precipitation going into these areas here. This is the axis of moisture coming through over the next 24 to 36 hours. So there's going to be some pretty decent snows. The Bighorn Mountains in particular, the Tetons, the mountains of Colorado, Wyoming, and New Mexico. Some of the mountains of Utah are going to get into a little bit of snow, several inches worth. The kind of snows that you expect to get in March in the high country that have good water content, so that'll be good for the mountains. But if you look at the plains here, this is just not going to be coming together. Unfortunately, central and western Nebraska, northeast Colorado, missing out on the action, and unfortunately not going to get as much moisture here as we had hoped in western Kansas and eastern Colorado. Snowfall-wise, this is what it looks like, and so you can see right along the divide and in the mountains, it'll be a pretty decent little shot of snow. And if traveling along Interstate 80 tonight and tomorrow, you're going to run into some problems up in the north central and central areas of Wyoming as well. The mountain passes will see significant snow. But the system, folks, is going to take its energy and its organization well to the east, but there are other storms in the pipeline coming later this month and into early April. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great remainder of your weekend.